Well, they're the best team in the league, Melbourne United, 10-2, absolutely flying, and they get Cairns, who have already played a game this weekend as well. So Cairns, they need to rebound on the back of a pretty poor loss to Brisbane, but this is going to be no easy task at all. Melbourne on their home floor, absolutely unbeatable or close to it. Let's have a look at a sports bet same game multi. Chris Goulding's been on fire. He made 8 threes in his most recent game. We'll take him for 5+. Luke Travers, 8 or more boards. And Sam Wardenberg, the big Kiwi, 2+ assists. $4. Enjoy the game.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Goulding in rhythm. Got it. Oh, my goodness. Yak with the rack attack. Swatted by Travers. Goulding for Travers in the open court. Here's Miller going to work. Oh, beautiful move from Miller. Stolen by the Lala Jr. Look out. Wow. Wardenberg rumbles down the lane. McCordy goes to work. Nice assist from Shea Hilly. Big shot ball. Hello and welcome to John Cain Arena. Melbourne United playing host to the Cairns and Taipans. Melbourne United, their first action off the fever break. They are without a doubt the hottest team in the competition. Leonard Copeland, they are yelling from the west, saying it's all about the Perth Wildcats right now. But you cannot argue with the basketball this Melbourne unit has been playing. The Cairns Taipans, they come into this one off a loss in the Sunshine Stout to the Brisbane Bullets. They will be hungry to get back on the winners list. But it is a very tough ask in John Cain Arena as we look at the Mitsubishi Motors standings.
Absolutely, Felix. They're playing great basketball on both ends of the floor. Offensively, they're shooting the ball well. Defensively, they're shutting teams down. Cairns are going to have their hands full today.
Well, if you're going to have your hands full, you certainly don't want to have it with the man that's lit up John Cain this entire season. Chris Goulding, 35 years old, in MVP form, playing some of the best basketball of his career.
He is, and he's shooting the ball exceptionally well. They're getting the ball to him, they're finding him in the right spots, and he's just playing great basketball. Wherever you see Chris open, he's going to knock the shot.
All you could do if you were Sydney was put your head in your hands because he had that ball on a string. He was unstoppable, and he led Melbourne to a massive win. But Leonard, you reckon Bull Kual from the Cairns Taipans could be problematic on the defensive end for him today?
Well, Bull Kual is one of the toughest defenders in the league, and his job is to try to shut Chris down. Now, he's going to do a great job at that, but I think Chris, with his experience, will get the upper hand.
Let's have a look at the 2 MVP candidates for Melbourne United. This roster is stacked top to bottom right now. Jogawalatula, they said, is it going to work with Huckporty? Well, look at those numbers right there. I'll tell you what, it is working.
Look, he's exceptional. He's a very good player, and we knew that from a couple of years ago. But when you put him with Chris Goulding and the rest of the squad, that's the reason why they're in first place.
Now, the Cairns Taipans have been doing it on the defensive end, but where they've been struggling is on the offensive end. Now, this is the last man you want to have returning to the roster if you're the Cairns Taipans. One of the best defenders in the league in Matthew Dellavedova.
One of the best, and if you got somebody that's going off, you put Matthew Dellavedova on him, he's going to shut him down, and that's his job. But he's also shooting the ball extremely well, and he just fits in with the Melbourne United.
Dellavedova, the known commodity. How about the little unknown, Campbell Blogg? Now, 7 points in 7 minutes against Sydney. He looked at home, and this Melbourne United roster, the talent that they've got loaded through their bench that we may not see week in, week out is unbelievable.
Well, that's Dean Vickerman going out recruiting the young guys so the older guys can teach them how to play. So when these older guys finally lay their boots up, you got some young guys to step up and play good basketball.
So look at Melbourne's magnificent bench there. Flynn Cameron getting the start tonight. A well-earned start for Flynn Cameron. All 3 of these guys potentially on other rosters could be in the starting 5 week in, week out.
Absolutely. Cameron deserves it. Look, he's been playing good. He's a great defender. He's strong. He's smart. He's got great pedigree. So I'm happy to see him in the starting lineup.
Well, if Cairns want to snake this one away from United, it's going to be on the back of Tajir McCall, their leader, who's been in fine form, but a little bit problematic with the turnovers of late.
He's gotten better, though. You know, he's their leader. You're right. How they go is how he goes. And when he's shooting the ball like this and he's knocking it down, they're doing all right. You just need him to be a little bit smarter, but I like what he's been doing so far.
One of the most exciting players on the roster is NBL next star Bobby Clintman, who we're going to see in a moment. Number 17 on the ESPN mock draft. And a good game today, you can push yourself up to 14, 13, maybe even 12, Leonard.
More importantly, I just like his attitude. It's all about winning for him. He's not worried about the NBA because that's going to come, but he's a great guy off the floor as well as on the floor.
10 points a game, 5 rebounds a game. That'll get you number 17 on the mock draft. But it's time to check out the starting lineups with John Casey. And Case, they're a little bit different this time around.
They are indeed. Thank you, Felix. Good afternoon, everyone. Alan Williams is with me off a near triple-double last night in the win for the Phoenix with 8 assists. Liam Santa Maria as well. Intriguing game and certainly never a dull moment when Cairns are involved.
Definitely not, and certainly not when Adam Ford's involved as well. Wholesale changes to the starting lineup. He said, all right, you are the guys that got us back in the game and played hard on Friday night. All right, you're in our starting lineup. So Jonah Antonio, Josh Roberts, those guys weren't even in the rotation before, and now they're starting.
And Melbourne United have made a change as well, Sauce, and Flynn Cameron's elevation to the starting five well-deserved.
Absolutely. He's been playing well as of late. Obviously, you have a potential next-gen winner in Luke Travers. You have 2 MVP candidates in JLA and Chris Golding, and then a potential Defensive Player of the Year candidate in Shea Illy. Could be a good one.
10 starters this season for Melbourne. That's how deep they go. And we are set to go here. Flynn Cameron making his presence felt straight away with his first start as well, getting some advice from referee Michael Aylan, who's working this game with James Griggle and Travis Stewart. And Cedric keen to get underway. He didn't even allow the ball to get up high enough for the liking of Michael Aylan. So we're underway here in Melbourne. Jolawala wins the tip, and Melbourne United, to the right of your screen, an opportunity to open scoring. Golding's been the man in their last 2 games to open scoring. Nawala Chul down in the low block, gets him involved quickly, works baseline against Bull Qual, got him in the air, can't finish it. So good defensive set straight away from the Taipans. 2 of the best defensive teams in the competition. As Miller gets it almost to the halfway line. Happy to play at their pace, the Taipans. Shot clock to single digits. Miller exploring, takes on Cameron, gets the 2, draws a foul.
Wow, that sits the Melbourne United home crowd down and gives everybody a chance to catch their breath. Pat Miller, just late in the shot clock here, gets the contact, and Big Sauce had the wherewithal to knock that thing down.
Yeah, absolutely. Patrick Miller is one of the best mid-range players we have in the NBL here, and gets right to his spot, gets a little bit of an up fake in there, and goes into the body contact with Flynn Cameron to get the M1.
Gets to the free throw line more than any other player for Cairns, but can't connect on the extra there. They draw first blood. This is Shea Illy, coming from Travers. Elects to fire quickly. He's off the mark. His 3-point shooting hasn't been his best this season. As McCall explores up the floor, and with Roberts involved, they denied that passing lane. Here's Miller, back to the top. Keyway open, shot clock to single numbers. Again, McCall's patient here. Wants Antonio, the outside threat. Got a good look at it, but can't convert.
Very static offensively for the Taipans. They've had all kinds of troubles at the offensive end throughout the season. Last in the league in offensive efficiency. And sometimes when Tajir McCall's out there, the spacing can get a little difficult, and it did there on that first possession.
Yeah, they're not the best shooting team in the league by any stretch of the imagination, and they just got to find more creative ways to get downhill and create opportunity and spacing, like you said, Liam.
Down this end, Case, Josh Roberts, he's got himself a serious matchup. Obviously, Bull Qual, premium defender, he's chasing around Chris Golding, but Roberts, the rookie out of the University of Manhattan, trying to keep control of Jolawala Chul here in the early going.
So we haven't seen a lot of Josh Roberts this season. Being largely anonymous on the end of the bench, he's played just 6 minutes a game and played only the 8 games. But we saw when Cairns Taipans were in the US, the work that he did against the NBA teams. He had a double-double against Washington, including leading the game in rebounding, and then had 11 and 9 in the loss against Toronto. So he's got some tools to work with. He's had to bide his time, but he's out there to start in this one after finishing very well against Brisbane on Friday night. Gain the shot clock to red numbers here. Antonio works to an opening, comes up with a triple.
Really good start of a defensive possession there for Melbourne United, but just couldn't keep Antonio contained, and he got a little sidestep for a 3, and that's something that the Cairns Taipans are going to definitely need in tonight's game, is that 3-point shot to fall.
Chill takes on Robertson, gets rejected. Big block, and Miller off and running. Ball in support, joining in McCall. But again, nothing on offer straight away. So McCall fires the triple. Oh, the butt of the net. The Taipans have scored the first 8 and 2 and a bit minutes played. Dean Vickerman says, I need timeout.
Wow, big time energy from the Taipans. Jonah Antonio, such a quick release, so dangerous from long range. And here on the Harvey Norman replay, to Jim McCall getting no respect. Got no respect from Brisbane the other night. He knocked down 4 of 6 from long range. And here with an early one to give the Taipans an 8-zip start.
Well, we spoke to Dean Vickerman pre-game about what he was expecting from Cairns. Probably not 8-zip, but this is what he had to say.
You know, our offense has been getting better and better, so, you know, they've been switching a fair bit, so hopefully we continue to get better at dealing with the switch. And their physicality in the switch and stopping you roll to the rim and how they just clog up the paint with all their bigs as well. So can we make some extra passes tonight and open it up a bit?
Yeah, it's a great point from Dean Vickerman there. Obviously, you know Kansas is a team that's going to mix it up and switch it up, and we've seen it here early on in the game. They're going to be solid. They're going to try to make you score through them, get a rebound and run, and that's what they've been able to do here at the start of the game, Case.
And like you, Liam, I'm very happy to see what Adam Ford's done. When we spoke to him pre-game, and he said, well, I've got to put my money where my mouth is.
Yep.
I've told these guys they'll get opportunities. The crew that finished off in style, they were 20 down in the last quarter against Prissy and got back to within 3. He's rolling them out here, and look at this.
And as a player, especially a young player, you love that. You're not just going to say you're going to reward guys for coming out and playing well. You're actually going to do it.
Gilly thought about the shot, then tried to get the pass to Luala Chul. Ended up knocking it down out of court, the Taipans.
I'm really liking this defensive energy from the Taipan squad right now. They're everywhere. They're flying around. They're getting their switches. They're getting hands on the basketball and making it really difficult for them. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, what a play from Chris Golding. Maybe the assist of the year.
Oh, that was absolutely beautiful. Just had a full read on the movement of the defense, the angles in play, and silver service for Luala Chul under the rim.
Spectacular, and so is that from Tashir McCall, who adds another 2.
Taj saw that first three-pointer go down, and so now he's feeling good and feeling confident as he gets to the rim on that last shot.
Knocking down threes like they're going out of fashion.
Adam Ford just signaling to Jonah Antonio, you've got to stay attached. So much easier said than done.
Having an exceptional season from long range, Chris Golding. Roberts tried to work the ball inside. Whistle on the play, continuation waved away. Foul's going to be called on Flynn Cameron, his second.
And as we see there, we got Chris Golding coming off of and finding a great behind-the-back pass. And then there, as you said, Liam, got to stay attached to a shooter like Chris Golding, because if he sees a little bit of daylight in this arena here with this crowd, it's going in.
That's 42 straight games with a 3 for Chris Golding as well. He's been ultra consistent. Miller exploring, works to the elbow. They look confident here, the Taipans.
In Case, that is a tough shot. Over a 7-footer, mid-range at the elbow, but it's one that he works on every single day, and you know that's his go-to.
Luala Chul muscling up against Roberts, reaching in. Antonio snatched the ball away, but free throws to come here for Melbourne United. Second team foul called on the Taipans, first on Roberts.
And I do think it's worth mentioning there. I saw Taj go up to Brooks there. Go up to Roberts there and let him know, show both hands. There he had his hand tangled up with JLA, and that's why he was able to get that foul call. But if he shows both hands and makes him score over the top of him, it's a much more difficult shot and probably no foul.
One shot.
One area where United have a massive advantage is in terms of experience. They've got 6 players with 100+ games. Cairns has none. In fact, Chris Golding has played more NBL games than the Cairns roster combined. Now, that's an edge in experience.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But now, some of these guys, Jim McCall, Pat Miller, these guys are experienced pros. But maybe not as many games here in the NBL, of course, to Jim McCall a couple of seasons deep. But yeah, you're right. The Taipans will try to counter that with youthful exuberance.
Here's Miller, put on the accelerator, feeds Roberts, who rushes to the rim and comes up with a 2.
Just a great penetration right there and finding the cutter. Roberts doing a phenomenal job with the opportunity that he's getting right now.
Golding working baseline. Stripped on it, Miller slapped it away, thought he was fouled. Couldn't get a whistle, Golding. Antonio feeds the corner. While off the mark. Lualachul the rebound. Dellavedova pushing the tempo here. Decides to go solo. Opening attempt off the mark. Roberts grabs the rebound. 2 of 6 Melbourne United off the mark in terms of shooting so far. And the Taipans very effective. 6 of 8. Reaching in. Dellavedova grabbed the ball away but then fouled Jonah Antonio. So he picks up the foul.
Chris Golding's livid out there. Felt like he was fouled a couple of possessions ago. Meanwhile, a couple of changes being rung. Shayili coming out for a rest. Really impressed by the first few minutes here from Josh Roberts. His endeavour and work and physicality against Joe Lualachul has been very effective.
And there is something to be said about your coach believing in you. And I know he's going out there playing really confident. Ooh, as he goes in for the and one over JLA, the second leading shot blocker in the league with no fear. Tough basket from Roberts right there. That's awesome to see.
He has really turned it on here in his first start in the NBL. Demanded the start and gets it. Joao Lualachul's been taken out here after picking up the foul. Melbourne have got 14 fouls here inside the first 5 minutes as the Taipans make some changes as well. Taron Armstrong checking along with Wardenberg. Now he's animated Adam Ford working the sidelines as well. So Roberts, 1 of 2 from the free throw line this season. As we mentioned, played the 6 games. Hasn't seen a lot of time. He's made a great start here. 5 points on 2 of 2 from the field. And it's a double-figure lead inside 5 minutes for the Taipans. Hook Porty, little underside, goes to Dellavedova. Puts it on the deck against Armstrong in traffic. Low pass for Hook Porty, wasn't expecting it. Ball trickles out of court.
Bull Quoll lost his chewing gum midway through that possession, right in the middle of the paint.
I reckon that might be on Santa's watching on the overtime show on Tuesday. What do you think, man?
Luckily, nobody stood on it, and now it's sitting at the end of the floor.
Armstrong hands over. Wardenberg had the better of the game so far, the Taipans. This is McCall. Once inside, Wardenberg retreats from Hook Porty. Armstrong stepped out of court. So first turnover for Cairns. Melbourne has 3.
Just hasn't quite yet been able to find his feet as a pro, Taron Armstrong. So talented, we know that. We've seen it the last couple of years at Cal Baptist, the NBA Global Academy and the COE prior to that. But still trying to just find his comfort zone here in the NBL as Luke Travis scores through the contact down the other end.
And off to the free throw line for the extra there. Really good work from Travis. Missed the opening shot, cleaned up his own mess.
There, just catch, patience, pump fake, go up, miss the first one and get the O board and draw the and one. Great effort and energy from Travis here early.
Second foul on Roberts, so he sits down and Bobby Clintman checks in.
Coach Ford slaps him on the back, Josh Roberts, as he comes to the bench. Very happy with that first stretch of minutes.
Travis can't make the back end. Here's Hook Porty wrestling with a couple and drawing another foul. This time looks as though it's going to be called on Hook Porty.
Wow, it was all hands on deck there to try to keep Hook Porty.
And they're over the limit, so free throws to come. We'll walk to the other end of the floor here. 4:26 still on the clock.
As an offensive rebounder, I want the ability to be able to try and go and grab after that. He had 2 people there trying to block him out, as we see here. Shot goes off. Wardenberg in front. Clintman comes over and double box out.
See, that's a foul on Wardenberg.
Absolutely.
He's got his arm wrapped around him and he's holding him from getting to the ball.
Well, that was my initial reaction. I thought the foul was on Wardenberg, but he's taking free throws at the other end. 72% free throw shooter this season, Sam Wardenberg. 18 of 25 coming into this game, and marching back out to 11. And Melbourne United are going to have to adjust here now that they're over the limit in terms of fouls. Dellavedova, lob pass for Hook Porty for the nice finish.
Great find from Dellavedova. Hook Porty will be so happy Delly's back because his ability to find guys over the top like that. And the Taipans, some miscommunication early here. And they were behind the 8 ball that possession. Hook 40, when he gets it up there, knows precisely what to do with it.
Two things there. If you're playing a switching defense, you want to get underneath that and try to stand them up. But if you're in a low drop, you never want that big to get behind your head on that lob pass, and that's what happened there with Waterberg. And Hook 40 is the recipient of a beautiful pass from Douglas Wilson.
Been an entertaining first 6 minutes here. Now, Hook 40 bounced into McCall there and is going to be called for the foul. So, more free throws to come.
That's a second personal now here on Hook 40. They're just running right through the screen of Tajir McCall. And Dean Bickerman has a decision to make. Hook 40 only just came into the game a minute or two earlier. Right now, he's going to leave him out there.
Has struggled with foul problems this season. Hook 40 averages 3 a game to be 7th in the competition. He's fouled out 3 times already. As Travis hands over to Golding. Early honours here with the Taipans, who lead by 10. A long pass, another throw down from Ariel Hook 40.
Hey, that's next star. That's next level stuff right there. A lot of stuff you're going to see him doing in the NBA. And he's great at catching that basketball up there and throwing it down.
Dellavedova picks up the dribble and needs help provided by Tanner Krebs. Skip pass is Travers working on Armstrong, spinning to the baseline. Well done Armstrong to stay with him initially. Now the double team arrives and Wardenberg's given away the foul here. So it's going to be his second personal.
All of a sudden, the fouls are racking up. This is beautiful here. Daly to Hook 40 again. What a dynamic duo they are turning into. And that's exactly who Hook 40 is. It's exactly who he's going to be at the next level in the NBA. I'll screen for you, I'll roll to the rim, throw it up, and I'll finish strong.
Snooze timeout called here by the Taipans, who lead by 8. And Taron Armstrong spoke to us pre-game about his evolution of a player here in the NBL.
Taron, your first season in the NBL, how's it going at the midway point?
Yeah, it's going all right. You know, we've been up and down, still trying to find a bit of chemistry, figure out how to play with each other. But it's been a really good experience so far.
What's it like as a point guard? Your ability in college to find guys on the floor, having to fit in a new system, what's that been like?
Yeah, it's different. You know, fitting in with guys is, especially as a point guard and making sure everything flows, it's a tough job. And, you know, we got so many talented guys and so many talented guys that need the ball. So for me, trying to find my way and fit in, it's still something I'm learning to do.
Defensively, you guys are one of the best teams in the competition. Still trying to find your way on the offensive end. What needs to change on that end of the floor?
Yeah, you know, we spoke about it a lot, especially even in between, you know, last game and this game. I've had a lot of conversations and, you know, it's small detail things, but nothing I don't think we can take care of and get better at.
Certainly getting opportunities with the Taipans. Liam averaging 7 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 fouls. Just 1 of 8 from deep. Hasn't got that going. 61% from the free throw line. I think people were expecting a little more at this stage.
Yeah, you'll always get opportunity with Adam Ford, for sure. And if you're going to, you know, especially if you're going to bring it at the defensive end. He's a ball-dominant player, Taron Armstrong. And when he's referring to guys who need the ball in their hands, Pat Miller is that type of player, Tajir McCall is that type of player. So all those guys working out how to be effective in what they do when they're sharing the floor together, very much a work in progress.
Timeout was called by the Taipans. Leonard Copeland was hovering near the bench. What do they have to say, Copes?
It was all about the lob. Make sure we let Delly shoot the ball rather than double team him and let them throw that lob.
Party pooper.
Yeah, you know, that's easier said than done there. Again, if you're in that drops coverage, you never want that big to get behind. And just a couple of times they're losing Ariel Hook 40 as he's going to the basket. Impossible to get it when he's up above the rim like that.
Pressure up the floor on the Taipans. They broke it down. Meninga was short. The wedgie, though. And the possession arrow is with the Taipans. So they'll reset the shot clock here to 14. The Taipans will reset themselves. They've led exclusively here, Cairns, after scoring the first 8 of the game. United has banked it back to within 6, but Armstrong goes on with a dribble. Nice move. We're seeing glimpses what he can do, and once we get that at a consistent level, he's going to be a player.
Very nice move there from Cairns Armstrong. Gets the basket with the right hand above the rim. You can see his athleticism and his capabilities of getting downhill are tremendous.
Here he is again on cue against Dellavedova. Hands over. Miller. Inside 3 minutes left in the opening quarter. Taipans on top early. Armstrong the luck with the fire, the three. As I mentioned, his strong suit. This is Clintman back to Miller. And again, they're happy to play at their tempo. He fires over the top. He gets it done.
He's feeling it in the mid-range. Shades of Casper Ware when I watch Pat Miller play and operate. Pull up in the mid-range. He's giving them problems right there.
3 of 3 from the field, Miller, for his 6 points. Shot clock for 10, 40. Pass for Bowen. Had to reel it in, and then 3-second violation is called.
Sauce, you were talking about that move from Taron Armstrong. For young point guards watching at home, watch the way he keeps the defender on his back here. Pauses. Keeps Chris Golding hostage on his back. A little moment of hesitation, and then he finishes at the rim.
The hesitation's great there, Liam, but I also like the eyes. He was looking the defender off, and Hardy got a glimpse of those eyes and moved his body slightly, which opened up the basket lane for him.
Pass from a call off the mark. Second turnover for Cairns. Melbourne has 4 as we go courtside to Felix von Hoff.
Yeah, the issue right now for Melbourne United with the foul trouble on Huck Cordy and JLA is their depth is almost entirely through their guard rotation. So you're going to see these guys still have to play early in the game and risk picking up more early fouls because through the bench they really don't have much else.
Good wrestle between Meninga and Joe Luala-Chul, and they're eyeballing one another as well.
A little bit of chippiness never hurt anybody there, as we see Sam Meninga doing a great job of just walling up and making the defender score through him, and a little bit of extracurriculars right there, but all in good fun and good competition.
Blocked by the side of the backboard.
Here's McCall against Trent's going to the back. And Noah Luala-Chul helping out as well. The Taipans with a chance again though. Armstrong against Dellavedova. Step back to the elbow, makes it fit. They lead by 12.
That's some sweet movement right there from Taron Armstrong. Love to see him get in there, snakes the dribble, and a nice midi pull-up.
Highest scoring opening quarter of the season for the Cairns Taipans. As Melbourne for some offense of their own. And Illy had it knocked down and out of court.
Love the physicality from the Taipans defensively, giving Melbourne a taste of their own medicine at that end of the floor. And that was without Bull Qual in the lineup. Now he checks in, but Pat Miller, Sam Meninga, so much physicality right now, and they're making life tough for Melbourne. Only 15 points with a minute and change remaining in the first.
Offensive foul going to be called here on the Taipans. Armstrong has his first. Robertson Wardenberg with 2 fouls already in the game. Flynn Cameron and Ariel Hook-Porty with 2 apiece for Melbourne.
You were nearly the right colour.
So they've been made to work hard here, Melbourne United. Good start to the game from the Cairns Taipans, who are just 1-5 on the road so far this season. They've lost their last 4 road games and 7 of their last 8. So this is the enterprising start they really needed. Dellavedova, tough shot, can't convert. Well done, Kyle Bowen, to keep it alive. Illy bounces into Bull Qual, and now Miller reaching in. 41 possession, but the foul's going to be called on Bull Qual. Free throws to come here for United.
Jeez, very late whistle. Slid his feet, some initial contact right there. They let it play, and then when Illy loses possession, Qual gets called for the foul.
Second personal for Bull Qual. And that's the issue. He fouled out against Brisbane on Friday night. And when they lose him, he's their best three-point shooter, or has hit more threes than any other player for the Taipans. So just can't afford to have him on the bench in foul trouble.
He's really, really important. And I'll tell you, if I was Adam Ford, I'd be matching his minutes to Chris Golding. I'm not sure it's worth having him out there right now on 2 fouls while Golding's not out there, because he's going to be so important in keeping CG43 under wraps.
A very good point that you make. So inside the last minute of this opening quarter, with the Taipans enjoy an 11-point lead. Miller been busy. Can't contain him at the moment. He's 4 of 4 from the field, has 8 points.
I hope the viewers at home can understand how tough of a shot that is. I will say it again. Getting into there through contact with a mid-range pull-up is something that he obviously works on all the time, and it's just automatic right now.
Averaging 18 a game to be top 10 in the competition. He's got 8 already, and from outside, shot from Illy off the mark. And another foul going to be called on the Taipans here. He doesn't like it, Sam Menenga, but he's picked up his first personal, more free throws.
That's a good whistle. There was great physicality going on and the block out with Joe Luala-Chul, but right at the last moment, Menenga wraps him up. Keep an eye on Menenga as he blocks out Luala-Chul here. And then as right there he grabs him, Michael Aylen spots it and calls the foul.
So United having 10 free throws here in this first quarter. 8 fouls on Cairns, 6 on United, but it's been physical.
You can tell this is the identity, and this is what Cairns wanted to come out and do as JLA misses the free throw there. They wanted to come out and be physical. Like I said, make them finish through you. They're flying around. They're hitting bodies. They're on cuts. They're hitting bodies on box outs, and hopefully try to wear this United team down throughout the extent of this game.
Being efficient on offense as well. 11 of 16 at 69%. Led by this man, Miller, who's fouled by Joe Luala-Chul. His second personal. Miller to the free throw line.
Get on the arm.
Well, the confidence from Miller on display here. Knows he wants to get to his spot. Get to that step back, and just a little late contact on the hand and the wrist, and he's off to the strike.
Well, his season best is 26 points against Tassie back in the last round. He's in some danger here at the moment, the way he started this game. It's been a terrific pickup. Most recently played in Germany, where he averaged 18 points a game and was 39% from deep. He's played in 9 different countries. And the G Leaguers, Illy fires from half court on the buzzer. But it is the highest scoring quarter of the season for the Cairns Taipans. They've rattled on 31 against the defensive starch of Melbourne United and lead by 14 at quarter time. Stay with us here on the Hungry Jacks NBL War from John Cain Arena right after this. Great to have your company here on a Sunday afternoon in the Hungry Jacks NBL. We're excited to welcome Mitsubishi Motors back this season as well. Fans are celebrating in the stadium with Mitsubishi Motors three-pointer foam hands. And there's a range of prizes up for grabs every week, including a brand new Mitsubishi Pajero Sport. Get around the Mitsubishi Motors. Really appreciate their support of basketball here in Australia. And the Cairns Taipans, well, that is impressive. 31-17 on 69% from the field.
Wow, just amazing offensive display from the Cairns Taipans. A team that had been struggling on the offensive end as of late. Adam Ford comes in, changes the lineup, revamps the energy, and they come out with a really strong first quarter.
Let's go to Leonard Copeland courtside.
And Dean Bickerman was not happy with the 31 points. He said just that. We're a defensive team. We got to know what we're doing out there. On the offensive end, make sure we swing that ball around, and let's get this game going.
They've been taken out of their comfort zone pretty quickly here by the Cairns Taipans, led by Pat Miller's 10 points on 4 of 4 shooting. And he puts it on the deck once more against Shea Hill. He muscles his way in, and he's called for an offensive foul.
That's Shea Hill at his best. He was almost beat. One more step and Pat Miller was past him, but just continues to slide. The endeavor to just stay in the play and then takes the hit right down the middle.
Yeah, and sacrifice his body. He's known to do that, and that's why he's one of the top defensive player of the year candidates that we have in this league right now.
Bowen hands over to Dellavedova. Shea Hill and Joe Luala-Chul, the only starters on the floor at the moment for United. Chul did a good job there, reaching in over the back of Bobby Klintman, almost wrestle it back. It's out of court. Melbourne will restart. Hilly found Dellavedova at close quarters. Almost knocked down out. And possession arrow is going to be with Melbourne United. Hilly thought he was fouled, showing the bruise. And that's a good answer.
It is a battle under there. When you got Daly, McCall, Roberts, Luala-Chul all fighting for position.
We've got 6 players out there with 2 fouls already in the game as well.
6. Grab.
Jonah Antonio picks up his first personal.
You talked about that physicality, Liam. It's on the screens. It's on the cuts. It's everywhere. Bodies are just banging everywhere out there right now.
If it becomes a battle of depth, then Melbourne are going to win that. Here's Dellavedova exploring. Kick to the corner. Bowen with that unique shooting action. Little lap of honour, jumped out. Luala-Chul. Well, that was Roberts' presence there to talk him out of the points, and the Taipans have won it back. Klintman quickly up the floor, caught it in rhythm, punches down the 3.
Great hit from Klintman. The kick ahead from McCall, but credit Josh Roberts. Luala-Chul got the offensive rebound, but Roberts stuck with the play.
Luala-Chul from close range, couldn't convert it initially, but stayed with it to get it done. First score of the second quarter for Melbourne. So McCall hands over to Klintman. Here's Miller. They've been super impressive so far, the Taipans. A good block. Joe Luala-Chul out of nowhere swats the ball away from Klintman, who wanted a whistle.
And we see there Klintman just driving to the basket. Thought there was a little bit of contact there, but JLA, one of the best in our leagues at blocking shots, just comes in on the weak side and says, get that stuff out of here.
Hey, fellas, I got a question for you. How long do we leave Chris Golding on the bench? He's only had 3 shots. He's only made 1. Can't afford to leave him on the bench too long, can we?
It's a good question. I was just thinking the same thing, Coach, as Luala-Chul sends another one away.
Well, the pass from Hilly, picked off by McCall. Hands over to Antonio. This is his go, and he knocks down the 3. They're 4 of 7 from long range at 57%. Melbourne 1 of 8 from deep.
Bickerman, he's going to bring those changes now. Travers and Golding coming to the score table.
John Antonio picks up his second. So Kansas got 4 players with 2 fouls here so far, but that's what he can do at the offensive end.
And we see there again, Tajir McCall leading the break, finding guys that are out there running. The play before that where Bobby Clifton gets to that corner. He sprints to that corner to create that spacing, finds an open shot. Same with Jonah Antonio coming up late, right there on the wing or the nipple that we like to call it.
Hold on, the what? The what?
The nipple. That's the terminology used in the basketball community. Right there at the little break between the corner and
some things that are and aren't for broadcast.
Well, Melbourne doing their best to play catch-up here at the moment because the Taipans are leading them a merry dance, and Clintman knocks down the three.
Early offense for a team that struggled to execute in the half court this season. They're getting a lot from pushing the ball in transition right now.
They lead by 19. Melbourne have come from 19 down to win this season. They've got their hands full, though, as Cameron's short on the rim. So 1 of 9 from long range, Melbourne. And quickly up the floor, here's Roberts. Great pass, good finish. And it is all happening for the Cairns Taipans. They've doubled Melbourne's score here. Timeout.
Josh Roberts, have yourself a day. Your first start in the NBL, getting out, sprinting the floor, an overhead catch for the lay right there. And as we see Bobby Clintman just walk in 2 or 3 here, I'm sure Dean Vickerman is going to be yelling at them about that one. But here, we just see Josh Roberts outrun everybody, catch it over a 7-footer, find it, patience, and layup.
Well, let's get a word. We spoke with Tajir McCall pre-game about the Taipan season.
The more we get closer to it, I'm excited, but I think when it actually happens, I'm gonna be a little bit more nervous. I need my sleep. That's literally what I do all day. And now everything is gonna hit me, but for me, it's more exciting than anything. It's kind of where I've been telling people, like, you have to take yourself outside of everything. It's not about you anymore, and I can't control everything, but you just got to keep getting better each day. So the things that I'm gonna learn about myself and about love and about being responsible for someone is going to help me grow in ways that I can't imagine.
Oh, that was just a taste of a special feature we've got for you at halftime. Tajir McCall, new dad. I'd be very happy with this start.
Absolutely. Wow. Doubled Melbourne's score a couple of minutes into the second quarter. A fantastic start from the Taipans. That play before. This is why I love having you here with this big source. We've got so many point guards amongst the commentary team. So much focus on the touchdown pass there would have been, but your appreciation for the big fella running the lane is a beautiful thing.
Catch it in stride and finish. That's tough to do. Not very many of us can do that one.
This is Dellavedova firing just what Melbourne needed. Leonard Copeland, you listened in with the United team.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Melbourne United came out and played a little bit better because Dean Vickerman was not happy in that one. It was all about testing your heart. Are you guys ready to play or what?
They've been caught napping here by Pat Miller and the Taipans. And Miller is now 5 of 5 from the field to lead all scorers with 12.
Beautiful job to snake the ball screen. Pat Miller, and he's killing him in the mid-range. Daly answering from a little deeper.
No surprise, he's picked up the slack. Made a living out of it. Getting the job done when others can't. Miller with it, hands over to McCall. Played 3.5 minutes in this second quarter. It's Antonio against Golding. Now Miller once more. Shot clock to red numbers. Miller, he's from deep, and he knocks one down.
Why not? Making everything else, you might as well make a 3 as well. Right there with Deli with a hand up. Obviously, that's a rise-up 3, something I'm sure Dean Vickerman is not happy with, but he's just feeling it right now.
We've got 6 players who have taken a 3-point attempt in this game, the Taipans. 4 of them have connected. As Golding looks for the 3 as well, and that's pretty to watch.
That's tough. Sometimes, as a defender, you've just got to tip your hat. Jonah Antonio looks over to Adam Ford and said, what more could I do? And he said, not much, young fella.
And I think there's only a couple of players in the league that you got to tip your hat at and stuff like that. CG's one of them and Bryce Cotton's another.
Here's Roberts inventing a shot around the body of Hook Porty and adding the 2.
And Hook Porty looks at Roberts as if to say, are you for real?
Got 9 on 4 of 4 shooting. Pat Miller's been called for the foul. Going to be his second personal.
Well, here's the catch and dance with it. 3 from Chris Golding. Antonio stayed right there with him. That's a very, very good contest. Just better offense at the end of the day on the Harvey Norman replay.
So 5 Cairns players now with 2 fouls, and they've committed 4 in this quarter already. Still more than 5 minutes to play. That was better from Bill Quayle, but Porty grabs the O-board and from close range adds to his tally.
And that's what Porty gives you. Offensive rebounding ability, above the rim capabilities, and there with the patience and the wherewithal to know where the defender was, get that finish.
7 points on 3 of 3 shooting now for Ariel Porty. It's been a high-quality game. As Taron Armstrong gets it, single digits on the shot clock. He's looking inside. McCall against Travers, elevates, fires, yes.
So much off the ball body movement from the Taipans. Melbourne's so good at guarding the ball, but the Taipans, they're not over dribbling it right now. Flex screens, down screens, they're getting catch and shoot opportunities.
They're 8 of 10 from the field in this quarter as Roberts blocks another shot, shuts down Chris Golding. 73% from the field at the moment, the Cairns Taipans, and 80 in this quarter as McCall draws a foul and is off to the free throw line. First personal on Chris Golding and first team foul on Melbourne in this quarter.
We see here Tajir McCall just sizing him up, gets to that middle of the paint where he loves to be and puts it up with the contact and draws a foul on CG.
So McCall to the free throw line where he's 57% this season. Makes the first, but this is a tough stretch for the Taipans as well. Their second of 4 games in 9 days. They've got a hectic schedule. They played almost half their season in a 7-week period leading up to New Year's Eve. Host Sydney on December 7, and then they're in Adelaide next Saturday. So they're in a rich vein of form right now. Started in the last quarter against Brisbane on Friday night.
And that kind of hectic schedule in the middle of the season, Case, can be a fantastic thing for you if you catch a little momentum. You know, if you find some form and you can really piece a whole bunch of wins together in quick succession. And that's the way Adam Ford will be looking at it. I remember the start of last season, they had a bunch of games on the road to begin the year. And, you know, we in the media were all saying, man, that's a rough schedule. He was like, no, I love it. We're going to go on the road. We're going to build some camaraderie, get a whole bunch of wins together. And they ended up 1 win away from the grand final appearance.
Third foul for Bill Quayle, so he sits down, and you can unlock the ultimate fan experience this season. It's all free through NBL Plus. NBL Plus, you can check out stats, access sorts of classic NBL moments. There are partner offers there and much more. It's all free. Sign up via the NBL app or nbl.com.au. Leonard Copeland, third foul on Bill Quayle.
Third foul on Bill Quayle. He was wearing Chris Golding like a cheap suit. Now, who takes that job now? I wouldn't be surprised to see Chris Golding knock down a couple threes before this happens.
Let's play some D first, Melbourne. And got a quick look, and the turnaround from Lat Mayan, and there's all the bottom of the net. Instant impact for him off the bench.
Lat Mayan has been tremendous for the Cairns Taipans this year, but Sam Menenga on that massive screen was what really opened that up. As we see Shea Ellie getting to the basket and getting downhill on his right hand.
First field goal of the game for Shea Ellie. Lat Mayan only played 9 minutes in the game on Friday night, somewhat interestingly. 2 points, none of 2 from the field. He's a better player than that. He averages 10 a game. And here's Armstrong with it now. And the Taipans, the shot clock rolling down. Tough shot from Armstrong against a bigger opponent. Came up empty. Illy. Hands over to Golding. Oh, that Mayan just marched over the top of Shea Illy. No science in that. Free throws to come.
Watch the way Melbourne use Chris Golding as the second screener here, because they know Lat Mayan doesn't want to help. Adam Ford's telling his guys to stay attached to Chris Golding, so there's no help on that drive for Shea Illy.
It's a timeout called by Adam Ford here. 3:11 left on the clock, and that is an issue for them now because they've got 14 fouls to 8 overall. That includes 6 in this quarter, so worrying signs for Adam Ford. 8 players have fouls. Bill Quayle with 3. Roberts has 2. Wardenberg 2. Miller 2. So that's really made it difficult for the coach. He's going to have to delve into that bag of tricks.
Yeah, and this is what can happen when you're trying to play that physical style. The start of the game, when you're all full of energy, you can do it at a high level without fouling, and they did that in that first quarter, didn't they, Sauce? But now as fatigue starts to kick in a little, you're a step slower, you're a step off the beat, you start to pick up fouls.
Yeah, and I think it's just finding that balance between that ultra physicality. You set the tone early in the first quarter. As the game progresses and things start to slow down and do that kind of thing, you got to be smarter about where you reach, about where you bump, understanding how the flow of the game is going to dictate the way that the calls are going to be made right there.
Sauce, we have to ask you about your performance last night. The Phoenix defeating the New Zealand Breakers by 11. It was a tough night at the office. A couple of times they threatened to get away from you. But you put together a pretty nice line there throughout the game. And right on a near triple-double. I think the closest anyone's been to a triple-double this season. 8 assists. I think that's a career high. So you must have been thrilled with the way you're able to play.
No, absolutely. Just glad we were able to come out and get the win against a really scrappy Breakers team. As you see Shea Ellie knock down the first free throw, it's just good to be able to get the ball around and get it through guys' hands, and everybody feeling good about that. And so, again, very happy with the win, and hopefully we can continue to push forward.
Shea Ellie misses the back end. Nega got a piece of that. Cameron stolen it back, though, for United. And now Shea Ellie looks for the penetration, gets it done, took a whack. He's off to the free throw line again.
And obviously we see Shea Ellie there scrapping and clawing, but the real trouble was Sam Meninga was matched up against Eric Hork-Porty on the box out by himself. Eric Hork-Porty is one of the better rebounders in this league, and you got to have 2 guys on his side during the free throw block out to try to prevent him from getting that basketball one-on-one.
So Meninga sits down. So 15 fouls now called on the Cairns Taipans so far in the game. And Shea Ellie, he's had a great season. Shooting percentages where he wanted to be from any category, but he's got 7 points now in the game. Only Dellavedova with 8 has more for Melbourne. And they've just put the clamps on Taipans. And now Flynn Cameron's picked up the foul, and again he's got problems. That's a 3rd personal for Flynn Cameron.
Only the 2nd team foul, though, for Melbourne. They've done a good job in this quarter to defend without fouling. Really important 3 minutes here for the Taipans. You know, they had full control over this game. Still up by 15, but this was 21-22 a few minutes ago. So as you close out this 2nd quarter and get to half-time, can you maintain dominance over the ball game and go in with a whole heap of momentum?
Armstrong. This is Roberts. Let's hook Porty out the paint. Opens up inside for Lat May and turns around for the easy 2.
It's another great example of how the flex offense can be effective against this United team. Lat Mayan comes off of a great screen, finds himself open, turns around 2 feet from the basket and lays it in.
Shea Ellie, Golding. Well, he got some space. It was fouled by Lat Mayan, who just ran out a little too vigorously. Lat Mayan sending Golding to the free throw line for 3.
Well, he's playing catch-up. Just helped out a little too much on Shea Ellie, and now you're running out at a shooter. A little overzealous. Golding knows exactly how to draw those whistles.
Bad closeout technique on a right-handed shooter as well. He came in on the left side. The only thing you can do there is foul. You come in on his right hand with your right hand, almost like a fly-by contest for a guy like CG. It really affects the shot differently, and you find yourself in a position where you're not making that foul.
52 threes on the season coming into this game. He's knocked down another 2 here so far, and good from the free throw line as well at 80%. This is like the best we've seen in terms of scoring in 10 years from Chris Golding, and certainly he's been thrust into that role a little by the injuries. He'd had to pick up the slack, but it says a little bit about him as a player, I think, that he's able to step up at this stage of his career and be a dominant force.
100%. And, you know, he'd be smarting a little bit from not getting quite as much run as he wanted in the green and gold at the FIBA World Cup, and would have his eyes firmly planted on Paris and getting after it again.
Villa was strong with it and had to go back for seconds, and eventually earns a trip to the free throw line. 3rd personal on Hork-Porty.
Look at the energy from the Taipans bench as well. That's what we saw from the Taipans last year under Adam Ford. You see here the find from Roberts underneath, and Pat Miller up strong on the second attempt. And all those guys in the background getting up and about on the bench in support of the guys on the floor.
Just showing his experience of a man who's played in 9 different countries there, with his jumping in toward Dellavedova, generating that contact to make room for himself and then drawing a foul. He's a tough customer.
Absolutely. Very strong-bodied as well. Uses his size to his advantage. Also there, worth noting, Roberts' pass, that entry pass down on getting around the body of the defender there and finding Patrick Miller there on the block is really tough to do as well.
They've got the answers at the moment, and a 16-point lead here. The Cairns Taipans coming off their highest scoring quarter. Oh, Roberts throws another one out of there. Love this defensive pressure. Highest scoring first half of the year as well for the Taipans now.
His third block, Josh Roberts. Great timing. Sends that away.
United to restart here inside the last 2 minutes of the first half. Dellavedova found an opening baseline, couldn't finish it. Luala-Chul, the offensive rebound, and lost control of it. But we'll get it back, last touch by Taron Armstrong. They got 7 offensive rebounds, Melbourne, 5 defensive. It's giving them opportunities, and they've needed them at the moment, because Taipans have been so efficient at the offensive end. Trying to keep up with them has certainly been a challenge. Golding, run it off. Shea Illy's inbound pass, knocks down another.
And that's where experience comes into effect there, as we see Josh Roberts just a little too far back. Chris Golding came off a couple of screens and found himself open. You got to have the understanding and awareness to know that if CG's on your side, you may have to be the one to close out and contest that three-point shot.
Here's Miller again, muscling his way in against Shea Illy. This has been some sort of show. 7 of 8 from the field, 19 first half points.
Man, and he has done it, being guarded by Shea Illy and Matthew Dellavedova.
Unheard of. Luala-Chul again, the O-board, slapped away from him by McCall. Loose ball, Armstrong. Hands over to Main, and now McCall. Look away pass. Roberts in traffic, helps himself to 2 more. 5 of 5 from the field for 11 points now, Josh Roberts.
Just a magnificent find in transition. Thread the eye of the needle to Jim McCall to set up an easy bucket at the rim.
And 40 is over there just with a nice little grin on his face right there, seeing and enjoying how hard his team is playing. As we see Shea Illy there making a big three-point shot as this quarter's coming to an end.
Here's Armstrong going coast to coast as well, adding another 2. They've got 65 here in the first half. This is the highest scoring first half of the season. The Taipans have done it against the best defensive team in the NBL. Dellavedova knocks down another triple. He's into double figures. Well, the last play of a hectic first half from John Cain Arena. And the Taipans have put on a show and lead by 14, led by this man, Pat Miller. Fires over them and sticks another one into them. 21 points on 8 of 9 from the field. What a first half, Pat Miller.
Wow. Just absolutely wow. What a first half.
Adam Ford just approached us and said, I thought this was the 2 best defensive teams. What is going on? 67 points equals the best half in the competition this season. Highest first half we've seen this year. Let's get to Pat Miller with Leonard Copeland.
Pat, 21 points in the first half against the best 2 defensive guards in the league. What's going on here?
I think we just came out with energy. You know, we had a bad game last game. We're in a bad little slump right now as a team. And I think today we're trying to change the narrative, man. So I think we're just playing hard. We know this is going to be a hard-fought game the second half. So it's going to be hard to keep it up, but we got to keep it up. We got to get out here with a win.
What do you guys need to do in the second half just to get that win?
Defense. Like you said, the 2 top defensive teams, they start making some threes at the end of that quarter. So it's been defense. It's been defense and energy. And offense take care of itself. We're playing fast. But it starts with defense. Our defense get us going now on the other end.
Good luck in the second half.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, Pat Miller, what a show that was. Unbelievable. 21 points. Taipans lead at 67-51. John Cain Arena is rocking. Stay with us here on your Sunday afternoon in the NBL.
Bunnings is backing the next generation of ballers. I'm here with Campbell Blogg and Brad Newley, and we're at the Sandringham Sabres. We're going to surprise them with some tickets to a Melbourne United game. Come on, let's roll.
What up?
Well, you're the next generation of ballers, and Bunnings is backing you guys, so we're here to tell you that we're giving you all tickets to come to a Melbourne United game. Sound good? For Bunnings to be here backing the next generation of ballers, it's amazing. It helps us get out to more kids and to hopefully get more kids into the NBL.
Tajir McCall.
No one can stop him. He's just too big and strong.
You know what happens next.
It goes so fast, and of course you always got something that you're trying to do, like especially with Cairns starting the way we started my first year and then trying to turn around. I haven't got a chance to really reflect on that, but if I can give you a quick answer, it's just growth. I've learned so much, met so many different people, and becoming a local and really feeling at home. So it's just growth is the biggest thing I can say.
I know you usually like the laptop facing too, so you see yourself.
Conceited.
Who we do that? Yeah, that's for him. Oh, serious.
I tell everybody that it's crazy, even the people that come to the team, like, that's somebody I would hang with outside of basketball. Like, that's really like my big brother. It's hard to explain, and it just happened organically, and those kind of are usually the best relationships in life. So he's like literally my big brother.
Tajir McCall, he will coach the team. Adam Ford will sit that one out. So we're going to see a different looking coach today and see how that one all pans out.
I didn't think coaching was something I wanted to do. First time he let me do it, I wasn't really into it, but the joy you get of seeing people, you say something and then seeing it transfer or seeing the relationship that you get from that, it changed my whole outlook on it. And it also changed my outlook on basketball and how I need to be as a player and what you see as a player and how it relates to coaching. So I've been thanking him since nonstop. It's something that I can't repay back, and I can't really put a price on how much that has helped me and matters to me.
He's got time to get this away. Got it! At the halftime buzzer, Tajir McCall with a half-court bomb.
I haven't been too many places where I've met people that's just genuinely loving and caring, like I'm talking about strangers, it doesn't matter. So that type of love is there to me because that's what I operate on. If you ever see me, I'm always, like, the people I'm around are my people. So I take that like 10 times, and it means a lot to me.
Welcome back to John Cain Arena, where it's at an unlikely 16-point lead for the Cairns Taipans over the best defensive team in Melbourne United. And you look to the scoreboard, Leonard Copeland, 67 points for the Taipans, who have struggled offensively this year.
That's just way too many points for a defensive team. You're number one in defense. You cannot let a team come into your house and score 67 points. Now, on the other hand, Cairns look fantastic. Pat Miller is exceptional. He's shooting the ball well, 8 for 9 from the field. Everything he puts up is going in. And I love the way he's playing.
He's playing fantastic. He's had some injuries issues this year, and at times we haven't seen the best of him. But right now, United don't have an answer. And you mentioned in the halftime interview, this is the two best defensive guards in the league that he's doing this on. He is not out there scoring on scrub. Dellavedova, Shea Illy, right in their face, stare down. He's running the ship.
I'll tell you what, if you can score that many points and a half on those two guys, I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of his year because he's a very good player. I didn't see this from Pat Miller, but I can tell he controls it, the tempo. He takes good shots. Look at all the green for the team, for the Cairns Taipans. If Dean Bickerman seen that right now, he'd be ready to fight somebody.
The Blackmore shot chart looking like an infectious disease right there with all those green dots. I might want to get that checked out. 67 points, but the number right there, 74%. Now the danger is when you shoot 74% in the first half, it's tough to keep that up, and they've built a 16-point lead. But Melbourne United, I'll tell you what, you expect that they're going to think they're going to be able to eat in.
Oh, believe it, believe it. You better believe what Dean's going to do at halftime. He's going to have some choice words for everyone. They'll come out and be a much better team. A little bit rusty in the first half. They'll come out and be a much better team and ready to go.
Well, how about this one from Adam Ford? Throw the scout out the window, because someone who would barely have been scouted in this game, he's averaged 5 minutes over 8 games. Josh Roberts has come into this game and been the X factor for Cairns.
5 for 5 from the field. He's blocking shots. He's dunking the ball. He's playing like he's been playing all year long. But what import averages 5 minutes a game? So I tell you what, for the rest of the year, I got it in my starting lineup.
Well, credit to Adam Ford. I'll tell you what, he looked at how they finished against Brisbane with that lineup. He brought that into the starting lineup now, and they've dropped 67 points against the best defense. That was the first half. Can Cairns keep up this scorching hot 75% shooting? We'll find out. Second half coming up next.
Well, John Cain Arena's played host to some spectacular shows, but this performance from the Cairns Taipans is right up there. The Taipans one shy of a franchise record scoring half. They got 68 a couple of times, both at home, so this is their best ever on the road. And to add to the misery for the Melbourne United and Dean Vickerman, this is the most points a Dean Vickerman team has given up ever.
Wow.
Full stop on the end, ever.
Wow, geez. The challenge is to maintain the rage, because you know Dean Vickerman's going to have, as Cope said at half-time, his squad ready to go as Cameron opens the scoring in this third quarter. But it's at this end of the floor that Melbourne are going to start to churn up their efforts.
That was an excellent finish from Flynn Cameron. Injected into the starting lineup. 3 fouls in the first half, gets his first score. in impressive fashion to get us underway in the second half. Here's McCall against Cameron, taking him on, dumps it down low. Roberts rejected. Luala Chul met him at the summit. And the shot clock expires in the background.
Did that ball hit the rim? That is the question. No.
Well, what did hit the rim then?
Just his hand on the finish. He tried to get through and dunk that ball, and JLA did a great job of coming over, not fouling, and blocking that shot at the very top of the apex.
Both teams back to their original fives to get us underway. McCall slapped it out of Golding's hands, but he recovered it. Now Pat Miller's relieved him of it in a two-man. McCall has hit the deck hard here. Oh, his hand was caught under his body as well. There could be all sorts of damage here for Tajir McCall.
Oh, Adam Ford, he can't look. He has literally turned his back, seeing his leader, who has had issues with his hip previously, hit the ground so heavy.
So a call to the free throw line appears to be okay. Perfect 4 of 4 before pulling the trigger there. So maybe his hand has been a little inconvenience, but fans aren't thinking about his arm. They're thinking about Burgers here. High arc on the shot. Found the target, just clutching at the elbow a little.
That fast break opportunity was brought about from the great defensive pressure there from the Cairns Taipans on Chris Golding.
There's Bulqual against the bigger Luala Chul. Roberts comes across for the help. They can't prevent the big man from getting it done, though. 8 points, 5 boards for Luala Chul. Appears to have picked it up here at the start of the second half. At both ends. Now Miller for Roberts. They stand off him. Dare him to fire the 3-ball, but he hands over to Bulqual, who works on Shea Illy. The penetration was good. The finish was better. First score in the game for Bulqual, and they had 67 at half-time. So Illy left wide open. He fires unsuccessfully. Well done, Cameron, illegally, according to referee James Griggle, just getting into the back of his opponent, Flynn Cameron there. So third personal now for Jonah Antonio.
Oh, he just copped the tee.
11, technical foul, 1 shot.
Zero tolerance.
And Flynn Cameron's out. He is out of the game. That is 5, and it's all over for Flynn Cameron here in 10.5 minutes.
So he picks up the foul there, a little shove in the back. Late whistle, but it was there nonetheless. A little conversation with the officials, and bang, picks up his tech, his 5th foul, and he's out for the rest of the afternoon.
But as a young player in this league, you don't have that leash to be able to speak to the officials. You get back, you start on the next play, you try to get it back on the other end, and that's something that he's going to have to learn and learn the hard way now, because he won't be able to come back into this game.
Wow. Well, the result is that Dellavedova comes back in, and he was feeling it late in that second quarter. 3 of 4 from 3 in that first half.
Had all 11 points in that second quarter, in fact. Now, well done, Pat Miller, who's won it back here for the Taipans, takes on Shea Illy, gets the 2 and draws a foul. Second personal on Illy. Dean Vickerman didn't like the whistle. They're just checking the video here to see what they can find.
Great hands from Miller initially, and then just comes across to cut Illy off. Not a lot of contact.
And they've challenged. Dean Vickerman's called timeout and has opted for a coach's challenge here. Plenty happening as well between the teams here. Melbourne United players on their feet. Tajir McCall in an animated conversation with them.
Well, because the score would count anyway. Oh, so they're just challenging the bonus. They're challenging the foul.
See, that's a strange one there, as Adam Ford's having a conversation, asking exactly what he's challenging for. As we see here, Patrick Miller comes down, and there may or may not have been contact there, but now he's challenging the bonus, the and 1. And so to me, I question why even use your challenge in that situation if it's not going to result in anything but possibly 1 point. What do you think, Lane?
I hear you. You're going to stop Shea Illy's personal foul?
After review, the coach's challenge is unsuccessful. Wow. The call on the floor is confirmed. A foul on 51 stands, 2 shots, 1 goal.
Where is the foul? I can't see the foul on those replays.
I'm with you, Liam. I didn't see there was much contact there.
We need the snicko.
It had to have been on the jump, and so as Shea Ellie's flying across him, maybe there was marginal slight contact on Patrick Miller's right shooting hand as he was going up. Maybe I'm reaching right now, and possibly am. Twitter gonna let me know for sure if I am.
You can't get a tech. You can't get a tech here.
Twitter gonna let me know if I'm reaching, but that could have potentially been it. But didn't seem like there was much there.
So the bonus free throw after Miller had knocked down the shot. What a game this has been from Miller. 9 of 10 from the field for 23 points. 1 of 1 from deep, 4 of 5 from the stripe. Make that 5 of 6. And he's got 7 assists in the game as well.
He has been absolutely sensational. We've got a whole bunch of game to play. I mean, he has the potential to put up an enormous line against, as we mentioned before, the 2 premier perimeter defenders in the league.
Dellavedova against McCall. Here's Travers to Golding. And the defensive end has been good from Cairns as well. Some magic from Golding. Couldn't finish it off. Loose ball scramble. Well done again. Luala-Chul to keep it alive. And Golding's 3 off the mark again. They wrestle for it. And Roberts reels it in for the Taipans. Miller all business against Shea Ely. Pocket pass for Roberts down to the baseline. Contact against Luala-Chul, who's got his 3rd personal. Free throws to come.
He learned from experience there. Josh Roberts earlier tried to go right at the rim against Luala-Chul and got sent away. And he had just assessed it and said, okay, you know what? I'm just going to go up with the floater. Contact on the wrist. He's going to the free throw line.
And I obviously think JLA knows this because he's one of the best shot blockers that we have in this NBL this season. But just going straight up, not trying to block that shot, understanding that that's a difficult shot over his length. I would know from experience just to not swipe down there and try to get that contact or try to get the block.
Well, Josh Roberts has been kind enough to supply the burgers. Open the NBL app and get to the Hungry Jacks banner. The code word is rotate. Foul call on Tajir McCall, his 2nd personal. So 3 Hungry Jacks for Victorians. Get around to that, participating outlets. Dellavedova did well and took a head to the head as well.
Contact in the act of play.
That's the explanation from referee Michael Aylen. He's off to the free throw line. So that's 4 now on Bull Quoll. And this is the problem we spoke about pre-game for Bull Quoll. He fouled out on Friday night against Brisbane.
Yep.
And when he leaves, it's not just his defense that sits down on the bench. It's the most threes that the Cairns Taipans have scored this season as well.
This is now his 6th game this season with 4 or more fouls.
One shot.
It's an enormous issue. He knows it. It's a fine line to walk, though, isn't it, for him? Because he's such an elite defender, and so much of that is about his intensity and his physicality. And now he checks out. Clintman comes back in, but it's going to be Jonah Antonio with the job of chasing Chris Golding around those screens.
And the only rider I'll add to that, Liam, is that he has not fouled out this season. So being able to stay in it. Roberts talking about staying in it. Stayed with that. Gets the 2. And another foul called here on Melbourne United. Luala-Chul's got 4.
And as we see there, just a simple ball screen. Just a simple ball screen action. Roberts there rolling to the basket hard. Took the contact and finished with his right hand at the basket. It's just steady diet of consistent things that the Taipans have been doing. They begin to the mid-range and they begin to the rim and knocking down threes as well. They're just having a tremendous offensive performance here in this game.
Just on Bull Quoll, I should say, before this round, was fouling out against Brisbane on Friday night. Here's Dellavedova, the Krebs. Well, they are all out of sync here, Melbourne United. They've been taken out of their comfort zone. trying to hang tough at the moment. And that's a nice finish there. Tanner Krebs gets his first score in the game. The margin is a very healthy 17 points at the moment. Roberts wanted Clintman. There was no passing lane. Miller with it now. Wraparound pass to Roberts. Well, that's chaotic play, but they get it done and a chance at a three-point play.
What a grab there from Roberts. Just patience from Patrick Miller there, finding him. One-handed, finds the other hand, comes down with patience, takes the contact and finishes. This is Adam Ford giving his guys the reward of playing hard. Obviously, we saw the last game and how they fought and how they continued to play, and he's rewarding those guys with the minutes, and they are performing for him. That is what you want as a player from your coach, is the ability to show what you can do based off of your performance in the previous game.
So the margin back to 20. We played 4 minutes in the third quarter here. Melbourne United have got their hands full. 10-2 on top of the ladder. There are only 2 losses here at home. And the Tassie Jack Jumpers came from nowhere to catch them, and then Perth also came out of nowhere and won in OT. And the Cairns Taipans haven't been very good on the road this season. Krebs knocking down another 3.
That's tough. Back-to-back triples from Krebs, and that one right on the shot clock buzzer.
Is McCall in traffic, and Travers just reeling out of there as well with what appears to be an ankle problem. Picks up the foul as well, Luke Travers, his second. Melbourne over the limit in terms of fouls in this third quarter.
Hey, fellas, I got a question for you guys. You think it's just a matter of Russ not playing in 10 days, or has Cairns just come out here and found the remedy to beat Melbourne United?
Yeah, that's a good point, Coach. I do think Russ is playing a factor in the offensive end for Melbourne United, but on the other end, when you're defending, that's something that you're working on every day. That's something that you're going about. You're playing against the best players in your rotation in practice every single day, and so that's just unacceptable for them, and I'm sure it's something that they're going to have to review after this game.
So more than 5 minutes still on the clock here in the third. Melbourne over the limit in terms of fouls, and at the offensive end they've been restricted to just 11 points so far in this term. Bowen spinning down baseline, nothing on offer. Hook Porty, and now Dellavedova. Red numbers on the shot clock for Delhi. He goes solo and gets it done. 14 in the game now for Dellavedova to lead Melbourne United. Roberts has 16. And it's 24 for Pat Miller at the moment. Still 73% from the field as well, the Cairns Taipans. And now Chris Golding gets involved. His third triple, up to 14 for him, and timeout by Adam Ford.
Great job from Melbourne. Chris Golding so dangerous in transition. The away screen from Hukporti. Delhi aware and knows it's coming, and Golding just strides into the open shot from the arc. Great look at it there on the Harvey Norman replay.
We had some very interesting developments already this round 9 in the Hungry Jacks NBL. It started preceded by David Stevenson speaking about a zero tolerance toward referees. And this is what he had to say in terms of they need more respect, the chief executive of the NBL. And then immediately Mody Mayor was ejected at half-time in the game against Adelaide on Thursday night. But I'm all for this. I think you need to crack down. I think set the example, and everyone's on notice now. And Adam Ford's been part of it. He's been enjoying the fun and zipping the lip and not saying anything. And I think it's one thing that Dean Vickerman's done very well this year. He seems to have made an adjustment where he's not riding referees as much as he has in the past. And I know it's frustrating in the heat of the battle, difficult for players, Source, and for coaches, but I've never seen anyone get any benefit out of riding a referee in terms of overall. Yeah, you might get a call here or there,
right?
But overall, I think I'm with David Stevenson on this one.
Yeah, well, certainly, ideally we get to a point where there's not text being dealt out left and right, and coaches and players are staying off the refs. That's the ideal scenario. Right now, it's going to take a little bit of an adjustment period. And yeah, you've seen Mody Mayor cop a couple, John Relly, Buchwald the other night. Flynn Cameron got fouled out today from a technical foul, so players are going to have to adjust.
Inside, this is Klintman in a mismatch against Dellavedova. Spins to the baseline, just lost control of the ball, came up empty. Dellavedova did well to reel that pass in from Tanner Krebs, goes back in his direction. They've grabbed some momentum here, Melbourne United, back to 13 after they were down 20 less than 2 minutes ago. And a chance for them to edge a little closer as well, as Dellavedova goes exploring and threw it up the hook body again.
There's that great two-man game that we've been seeing early in the first half with Dellavedova and Horporty there. Just a great connection those two have right now on the offensive end.
Roberts again given the latitude, not biting on the three. Armstrong. Shot clock to red numbers now for the Taipans. Armstrong. The floater wouldn't work. Now reaching it over the top is going to be called for the foul. Third team foul on the Taipans in this quarter. Armstrong has his second personal.
And then we see there again the amazing pass from Dellavedova there to the flying Horporty with the slam. Just like I said, a great chemistry, a great flow those two have right now in the pick and roll game.
So Josh Roberts checks out, Sam Wardenberg checks in. Has barely played tonight. Wardenberg with the minutes that Roberts and Menenga have been getting.
Here's Golding, punches down another three, and all of a sudden Melbourne United are back to within single digits. 16-4 run before that bucket went down.
Vickerman is ropeable. Finally cut the margin in a single digits, as you say, and then give up a layup in transition.
Dellavedova picks up the dribble. Pass deflected by Klintman, who gets after it now against Kyle Bohm. Wardenberg joining him. Dellavedova deflects it out of court. It is all happening here. Bobby Klintman.
Just the speed and athleticism to get to that basketball after he tipped there. Outran Bowen there to try to get to that basketball and couldn't get that pass through, but just love to see the hustle there from Klintman.
Yeah, such as his skill set as he fires here on cue. Can't convert. Well done Golding to grab the rebound ahead of Latmayan, but he's top 15 in steals and block shots in the competition, Bobby Klintman, as well as delivering 11 points and 6 boards a game. His Krebs has been on fire, this time off the mark with a heat check. Mahan did well to reel that in. Now Tajir McCall. Only 15 points in this quarter so far for the Taipans, after they had 36 in the previous and 31 in the first. And it's just dried up a little, and again, well, looked like an offensive foul there, and it is. Just dropped the shoulder into Armstrong to create the contact. I thought my initial reaction was this was an offensive foul just by dropping the shoulder in and generating that contact. He didn't like the call. And he had a good position anyway. I don't know if he necessarily had to do that as vigorously as he did and invite the referee to make a decision like that.
I think there was a little bit of him bracing for the contact, and it was going to be a bang-bang type of play. Your natural instinct is to drop it a little bit, and Armstrong just had better position there and drew the foul.
Nicole plays off Klintman. Here's Latmayan. Well done, Krebs. Well, they left Latmayan alone. He scoops up the loose ball, fires, can't connect. Krebs did well there, and Travers back on the floor after rolling that ankle earlier in this term. Margin is 10, inside 2 minutes left in this quarter. Melbourne aren't done with just yet. After being down by double figures at quarter time, by 21 in the second, and by 20 here in the third, and Horporty gets it done. That's a man-size finish.
Strong move. He's pumped. Isolated in the block, single coverage, Latmayan, big, strong, quick move from Horporty, and he scores through the contact.
Oh, that's when Ariel Horporty's at his best, and we saw that early in the season when Joe Luala-Chul was out with injury, and he had to be the enforcer. He embraced that. Just since Joe Luala-Chul's been back, he's obviously his minutes go down a little. He just seems to have taken a step back a little. But when you see him operating like that, you can see how fierce a competitor he is.
He's been so effective here today. Melbourne have outscored Cairns by 19 during his 13 minutes on the floor.
Here's Clintman. He charged into the paint, drew all the attention. Armstrong, he fires the three and comes up with a finish. He's up to 9 points, his first 3 of the game.
Feet in the paint, find an open shooter. Just great textbook offense from the Cairns Taipans right there.
7 threes at 64% for the Taipans in this game. Travers comes up with a 2.
Oh, good to see him back out there.
Margin is 9. As we count down the last 60 seconds of the third quarter. Miller goes down off the ball, wanted a whistle. Nothing from the referees. Shot clock again rolls to red numbers, and Tajir McCall just defies the 3, and he knocks down the second triple.
Big smile on his face too. Nothing he loves more, Tajir McCall, than when the defense sits off and he rises up and knocks one down.
Armstrong has picked up his 3rd personal, and free throws to come here. Cairns over the limit.
And they tell you to carry a hand. I understand you probably want Tajir McCall shooting that 3-point shot. That's what the scout's saying. But Dean Bickerman, irate on the sideline, telling Corey to get up closer, get up closer. With his length, his ability to affect the shot, he can do that from a little bit closer to the offensive guy.
I think Tajir McCall's done a good job of adjusting there. He's hit 5 threes this season at 36%. He's reined it back in. He realised it's not his strong suit. And this season he's been more selective, and we're seeing here in this game 2 of 2 from deep.
4 of 6 the other night against Brisbane, who gave him absolutely zero respect all night long.
Just a note there, Taron Armstrong was defending the bigger area of Horty there on the block and drew a foul, and he was in a disadvantageous position, but they just went ahead and missed both free throws, so it's probably a good foul.
Well, Dellavedova from deep, he's off the mark. Look, Shaili read that better than anyone off the hand. Gets the offensive rebound, number 11 in that category for United. Cairns has 3 O boards, so that's a huge advantage, but at the moment, it's the Queensland team on top here by 12. The shot clock just 1 second inside the game clock, so they'll slow this down, move the clock as far as they can. And Pat Miller smiling at Dellavedova. Goes on with the dribble. Push shot is off the mark. Oh, McCall reaching it over the back of Dellavedova to keep it alive. Second shot just wouldn't fall, but the Cairns Taipans, they turn for home here with a 12-point lead at 3-quarter time. 1 quarter to play at John Cain Arena. It's Cairns 88 against the top of the table, Melbourne United 76. More after this. Great entertainment on your Sunday afternoon here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. There is never a dull moment when the Cairns Taipans are involved, and they have set this up for a terrific last quarter as well. Melbourne fans getting involved. They've had a lot to cheer about, but right now they grabbed some momentum in that third. They were down 20, Melbourne, and got it back to 12 here as we start this last quarter. Just remembering that the Cairns Taipans played on Friday night, came up with 79 points for the game. They had 67 at half-time here today. Their best offensive outing of the season so far as Shea Illy uses Dellavedova. Puts it on the deck, inside Miller, lob pass for Travers. Gets it done again.
Well, they haven't found solutions to that, the Taipans. Matthew Dellavedova coming off those ball screens. And the roll man available up over the rim.
Goal. Back from Wardenberg, works for the elbow, back to Wardenberg, well worked play, and Sam Wardenberg gets his first field goal of the game.
Again, there, Case, you talked about it. McCall coming in this season and finding a better balance between those three-point shots and two-point shots. Doesn't take the wide open one there. It's patient, works a two-man game with Wardenberg, and gets reciprocated right there on the end with a nice layup from Wardenberg.
High percentage play. And Clintman's going to be called for the foul here, so that's his first personal.
So they try to solve that problem, the Taipans. They then go into their switching defense. Adam Ford calls out 5, and they all start switching. So Melbourne find the mismatch. So, all right, you're going to switch on to Joe Luala-Chul. We're going to put him in the block and make life tough.
Michael Aylan just with a chat there for Joe Luala-Chul, saying that he needs to be careful when he's playing with 4 fouls as well. Dellavedova got in the air, drew contact again to the head. Armstrong was in the vicinity there. Tom Wardenberg. So that's his third personal. Second team foul on Cairns in this quarter after just a minute of play. So Bullquall has 4 fouls. Mayan has 3. Armstrong 3. Wardenberg 3 for Cairns.
They dodged a bullet there. The Snakes fell asleep. No one guarding Dellavedova on the arc.
Wardenberg in traffic outside. Armstrong hands over to Clintman. He was fouled by Chris Golding. That's his second personal.
43 blue.
And Bullquall's checking into the game here with 8:26 on the clock, playing with 4 fouls.
It's a tough spot to be in for Bullquall, too. Been sitting on the sideline for a while. Hasn't really gotten himself going. Hasn't really had a good rhythm to this game. Only 2 points in the night. And so it's going to be very, very interesting to see how he's able to finish this game for the Taipans.
I think the most important thing for Bullquall is to know that the longer he's out there, the better it is for the Cairns Taipans. His 3 is off the mark, and Travers grabs the rebound. Number 6 for him in that category to lead Melbourne United. Here's Golding. Got it from Shea Illy, and he's fouled by Pat Miller, who picks up his third personal.
He's the danger man. That's the danger man right there on your screen. And Bullquall is the matchup, but they were cross-matched in transition. Clintman just a step reactive. Pat Miller also a step reactive as the help man off that action, and Golding's going to the stripe for 3.
So Golding to the free throw line, where he's 3 of 3 so far in this game. As I mentioned earlier, an 80% free throw shooter this season. And he's been the bailout guy for them so many times this season, Chris Golding. And they need him to come to the party again here. He's coming off 35 against Sydney. Prior to that, 27 against the Phoenix, 33 against the Hawks, all in his last 4 games. So while he's on the floor, he's dangerous, and Melbourne are a chance. And this to get it back to single digits again. If Melbourne were able to find a way home, it would be the biggest comeback of the season, being down 21 in the second. Dean Vickerman still encouraging his team. Fans starting to feel their voice as well. Clintman back to Bullquall. Shot clock to single digits. Here's Wardenberg. Miller, baseline. This time couldn't finish it. Got a piece of it, but Dellavedova off and running. No teammates ahead of him, though. Puts it on the deck now. Wanted the lob pass to Luala-Chul. Wardenberg shut it down. Good read from Wardenberg as Miller goes in hard and adds 2. So 26 now for him, his first, or just 5 since half-time.
Massive passage. Vickerman could sense that moment. They haven't been able to get over that hump, Melbourne. Get it back to 10 or 8, but never make that run. They blow up that play. Adam Ford was ready to call timeout. They come down. He cancels that timeout because Miller scores at the cup.
The other end, 4th foul on Sam Wardenberg.
And also the 14 foul case. It's going to be really important to see how that develops as well if Melbourne can get to the free throw line and end the penalty early in this 4th quarter.
One pass down low, Luala Chul against multiple defenders, and Tajim McCall and Josh Roberts between them prevent the bucket. Here's Miller putting it on the deck. Look away pass. Roberts from close range. 18 in the game for Josh Roberts on 8 of 9 shooting.
He's just doing it all right now. That's an amazing pass from Patrick Miller. Great catch again from Roberts there and a good finish. Pat Miller's just doing everything for these Cairns Taipans right now.
Whistle on the fly.
That counts. That's going to count, surely.
Michael Islands waved it off. He said the foul occurred before he got into the movement. So Roberts picks up the foul. Timeout called here by Adam Ford. Timeout called. It's Cairns on top by 13. For the continuation, I've seen buckets counted. that looked like it should have been a continuation.
Yeah,
to
that's
me.
the confusing one for me. I mean, everybody kind of stopped, but has he picked it up? Yes,
Foul.
I think he has.
He's into a shooting motion. That's a regular basketball movement. I don't think he did anything extraordinary to not draw that one and have it be a continuation call. So tough break for Melbourne.
Meanwhile, Josh Roberts has played Joe Luala so tough. You know, he's 8 points, 7 rebounds. Luala has kept his influence down and been huge for the Taipans.
Well, this has been an outstanding afternoon of hoops action. Trust you're enjoying it here on your channel of choice. And a little later, it's going to be Brisbane against Illawarra coming your way. But being part of the Josh Roberts fan club in terms of wanting to see him a little bit more. And full credit to Adam Ford, who said pre-game he's going to put his money where his mouth is and let the guys that finished off well against Brisbane on Friday night, even though they went down by 5, but they got back from 20. He's going to give them a run and paid off in spades. 67 in the first half, and for the vast majority of the game, they've been in a double-figure lead. So now they just need to get across the line, and it's not over just yet.
He's been a really big part of the Josh Roberts. He's worked with Joe Luala and he's a workhorse. He averaged a double-double as a senior at Manhattan last year.
It's Roberts once more. High off the window, adding another 2 to his tally. 20 now for him.
Man, coming down. 1-2 off 1 foot. Side scoop off the top of the glass over the 7-footer. You gotta love it.
Still on the play here.
I want to review this after.
Oh.
Orange team 0. Hit.
Tajima call's been called for the foul. Referee Travis Stewart said he wants to review this as well.
Play for no intent to play the ball. I have a hit to the lower groin.
Okay. Replay center. Hang on. We're reviewing the play ourselves for an act of violence. For no attempt to play the ball. We're reviewing it, so you can't tell us.
Wait. Hey, if you're, no, need a question. So if you're reviewing for act of violence...
No, I'm reviewing it for no intent to play the ball. I use the wrong terminology to start off with. He's asking for a C1 upgrade. That's what we're reviewing.
Okay, but if you just determines there's a normal foul...
Replay center, can you please review for a C1, no intention to play the ball?
So they're fighting over who gets to review.
No time out.
Adam Ford and
that's fine. That's fine.
Michael Ayler.
Well, Tajima call is the one being reviewed here.
Foul. Normal foul.
And Adam Ford said there was no foul. Tajim McCall, with a big smile on his face, can't believe it. But so foul's going to be called. McCall has 3.
So there was a suggestion of contact to the groin, no intention to play the ball.
They've reviewed it. That's CG's hand.
They got 9 cameras.
That's his own man's hand.
So
right
if
there.
Adam Ford had have decided to challenge that call, you think you would have won?
No, I do think there was still contact.
Okay.
I do think there was still contact, and a foul was there, but an excess of something outside of the basketball sense.
Dellavedova, 16.7 assists in the game now. After a scoreless first quarter, they bring pressure up the floor, and McCall has to shoot the pass. Gets it back to Qual, and now Miller. Well, again, they broke it down and came up with the goods.
Did that beautifully. Pass your way through the pressure. Ball hardly hit the floor, and Miller finished at the rim.
Nice move from Dellavedova to get it off quickly as well against Roberts. 12 the spread. A little over 6 minutes on the clock. Qual, Roberts. Now Pat Miller. Shot clock at red numbers now. In traffic. Wanted Roberts. The pass is off the mark. They turn it over for the 7th time. Here's Ely, challenged by McCall. Gets it done and draws a foul. 4 now on McCall as Shea Ely knocks down the 2.
Big play from Shea Ely. McCall tries to wall up the kick ahead from Travers. And jumps into the contact, braces himself, the concentration and focus to finish. And one opportunity and a chance to cut it back into single digits.
Get the back end, and Roberts wrestles the rebound down. So this free throw is starting to hurt. They're 20 of 31, Melbourne. They've left 11 out there, and they trail by 10. Cairns 16 of 22 from the free throw line. As Miller hands back to McCall against Travers. So the elbow fires it short. Travers gets the rebound. Dellavedova for Golding, who's ready to go with the 3-ball.
Cannot go under any ball screen action with Chris Golding. Learning the hard way. Anywhere he steps on the floor, coming across the half-court line, if you go under it, he's got the license to pull it and usually makes it.
Cairns by 7 against a closing Melbourne. Taipans over the limit in terms of fouls as well. If we move inside the last 5. Qual against Dellavedova, tough move, couldn't get a user-friendly roll. Just 10 points for the Taipans in this quarter. As they go to hook 40 once more, but he couldn't finish. Got it from Dellavedova. They miss, and now Shea Ely reaching in is going to be called for the foul, his 3rd. 2nd foul, team foul on Melbourne in this quarter. But Chris Golding now with 23 points on 5 of 7 threes.
Well, there's the triple you're talking about. Flintman just ducked under at the last moment. Jeez, he was a very, very good contest. Nonetheless, you saw on the Harvey Norman replay, Adam Ford and Flintman talking it through right now on the sidelines as he and McCall come out for a rest.
And Antonio with it. Qual marches down to the baseline. Roberts is there for the finishing touches. He's 10 of 11 from the field and has 22 points.
Amazing job of trusting your teammates here being displayed from the Cairns Taipans. Just knowing that anybody out there can make a play, having that trust in your teammates to find guys and have them be in the right position. And Josh Roberts has been the recipient of a lot of great passes and trust.
Pat Miller knocks down another 2. He's got 30.
Oh, huge couple of possessions.
Wow. And the margin again into double digits. 11-point lead here with less than 4 minutes to play. Pat Miller has 30 after he had 21 at halftime.
It was the setup from Qual to Roberts, and then here the pull-up in the mid-range. You remember what Adam Ford called at Pat Miller when he signed him? He said, "You're going to be our closer." He was brilliant in the first half, and now it's time to bring the Taipans home.
Well, fans here in John Cain Arena certainly had a great afternoon of action their way, and in the Pump by Reebok round 9 seats, you have Tyson Bull, Australian Olympian, made history with his Olympic debut, becoming the first ever Australian male gymnast to qualify for an Olympic apparatus final. I was told that Australian model YouTuber Isabel Clark was in the house as well in the Pump by Reebok seats. And I was privileged enough to be in Perth on Friday night to see Bryce Cotton unload 41 on the Kings, including 28 and a half. And I'll tell you, Pat Miller and Josh Roberts as a tandem in this game have been pretty impressive as well. For a man that Roberts has hardly played this season, to come in here and get 22 on 10 of 11 from the field. And as I mentioned, Miller coming up with 21 of his 30 in the first half. It's been an amazing performance from the Taipans.
And the efficiency source. Roberts 10 of 11 from the field. Pat Miller 12 of 16.
And they ain't easy shots. You know, it's not like they're out there just shooting uncontested layups. These are contested mid-range jump shots. These are drives off of a ball screen and having to finish over contact, through contact and over defenders. So a lot of credit to those two guys for putting on a great performance tonight.
Dellavedova muscles his way in from close range, couldn't get it done. Wardenberg reaching and over the back of hook. Porty has been called for the foul, and that's number 5 on Big Sam. He's out.
And he needs to be careful with how quick these whistles have been this week. These guys getting on the refs. Here you see Hook Porty for the putback. Wardenberg from behind, across the arm. Easy call for the official.
First time that Sam Wardenberg has fouled out in his career. Sits down now with 3:44 to play. Still plenty of time on the clock. Tajir McCall has 4 fouls. Bull Qual has 4. And the Taipans are over the limit. It's a case of making free throws here because Melbourne United has missed 10 of them. Joe Luala-Chul's going to check back into the game. Porty with 13 points on 5 of 7 shooting sits down.
Good minutes from Hook Porty. Missed a couple of opportunities around the rim, but good energy. Luala-Chul has had a rough afternoon, but they need big minutes from him right here down the stretch.
Call zigzags his way over the halfway line. Found Antonio, who steps inside Luala-Chul. The shot was open and he elected to go for the pass, and it's coughed it up here. Well done, McCall. Read where Dellavedova was going, but then Golding deflected the pass intended for Pat Miller. Oh, it's helter-skelter here at the moment.
Madness.
The long shot, the bottom of the net from Bull Qual. His first 3 of the game. He gives his team a 12-point lead.
And 40 is just loving it. Hyping his guys up on the sideline. We see here, rise up 3 from Bull Qual. Hasn't really been into it offensively this game, but he's one of their guys and plays with an extreme amount of confidence. So anytime he gets the ball in his hands behind that 3-point line, it's going up. He thinks it's going in.
Man, as a coach, you come in and do something as funky as what he did to start this game and make a big statement to your team about how you want everyone to go about it. In the arena of the top team in the league, if you can close that out with a victory, man, you're loving life.
Well, they came in here 7th on the ladder with a 4-7 record, and there were some doubts about their championship credentials, but after this performance, that's certainly making some people believe that their best is good enough. Illy, baseline, short-armed it. Gets his own rebound but can't keep it alive. And when you look back at their results this year, of their 4 wins, they've beaten the Phoenix, they've beaten Brisbane, they beat Sydney by 7 points and did that very easily in that occasion. And they beat Sydney in round 5, and here they are with a very impressive performance against Melbourne United, but they still have to seal the deal. Golding from deep. Luala-Chul, the offensive rebound. Finds Travers, works inside McCall, baseline, athletically adding the 2 to Luke Travers. Has 12 points in the game.
And this press, this full court press is causing a little bit of trouble here for the Taipans.
Chris Golding called for the foul. Going to be a third personal for him. Third team foul on Melbourne in this quarter. And was right on the edge there as well. Referee Travis Stewart watched him go back. I think he was certainly thinking about adding a little more to it. But they're up 10. A little over 2 minutes left on the clock here for Cairns Taipans. This would be a famous win if they can get home. Well, he sets some season records, some franchise records in terms of points scored in a half on the road. Armstrong came up empty, under pressure, good defensive pressure once more from Melbourne. They need some points though in a hurry. Dellavedova turns down the shot. Illy gets in the paint, retreats out, and Dellavedova gets a good look at it. He fires unsuccessfully. They have a foul to give Melbourne. Miller gets to the halfway line, and they do oblige with that foul
51
on Shea Illy. So that's his fourth personal. And Dean Bickerman calls timeout here with 1:37 left on the clock. And the Taipans leading by 10. Highest score of the season for the Cairns Taipans. It's been impressive.
And the clock is ticking down so slowly right now for all the Taipans fans. And Brandon Ford and his squad, they've been in hold this game out mode for most of the afternoon after getting off to such a strong start. And they've just got to get it done for 1:37 to go.
And if you're a United fan, you're still holding on to hope because you have a lot of players on the floor that can knock down threes, and obviously there's still a home court feel about it. And if the crowd can get into it and maybe speed up the Taipans a little bit and create some turnovers, you know, a couple of threes, and you're right back in this thing.
Melbourne United return back here next Sunday for an appointment with Brisbane, and the very few people in orange in the crowd here certainly had plenty to cheer about right from the start. Remembering the Cairns Taipans scored the first 8 points of the game. They have led exclusively, led by 14 at quarter time, by 16 at the half, and 12 coming into the last quarter, but by as many as 21 in the second.
And let's not forget, this is a team on a 3-game losing streak, sitting 7th on the ladder, 4 wins, 7 losses. So, you know, really staring down at an important kind of moment in their season.
For sure.
To come on the road and get this win will mean so much to them. But there's work to do still to close it out.
Lost 5 of their last 6 and 7 of their last 8 on the road. Here's Miller sharing full qual. We did 3 there earlier this turn. This time elects to milk the clock a little more. Armstrong through contact from Golding. So free throws to come here. They're over the limit, Melbourne.
Bonus.
It's 4 on Golding as well. They're 16 of 22 from the free throw line.
Armstrong has not been there prior to this tear. 61%
on the season. Burgers all ready to be enjoyed by Victorians, courtesy of Josh Roberts. They're missing a pair of free throws in the third quarter. Armstrong gets the back end of it. Rotate is the code word if you missed it earlier and you're interested in those burgers. Illy for Golding, back to Illy. Here's Dellavedova. Oh, they've got some good options outside the perimeter. 3 more for Melbourne. They've hit 12 threes now, 43%. Margin is 8.
1-3 there. Illy just finding them off of a great screen from Travers, and Delly's been knocking them down at a consistent rate this season, and finds an open one and try to get a turnover here from United. And if they can cause that to get another 3, like I said, it becomes a really interesting end of the game.
McCall draws a foul on Travers, just overextended there, and sent Tajir McCall to the free throw line where he is 6 of 8 in the game.
They're trying to get that early trap, and if nothing eventuates in terms of forcing a turnover, they're happy to foul. So Armstrong went 1 for 2. McCall now, you've got to step to the free throw line in these moments and close out the game. .69% from the stripe this season as a team, Cairns. It's the worst in the competition, so
This is the play you should be making against them as McCall just makes the adjustment. 17 now for McCall. 6 assists, 4 steals, a block. And an offensive foul is going to be called on Bull Crow here. Or in fact, on Shea Illy. The points are waved away. Well, the fans didn't realise. And Shea Illy has picked up his 5th foul and is out of the game.
That's what Bull Call brings for you, though. He created the contact there early, was really, really close to Golden coming off of that screen, and caused Illy to have to adjust ever so slightly to try to create that opening for Golding, and the ref saw it and called the foul.
Shea Illy fouls out for the 3rd time this season. So going to put pressure on the ball. Travers got a piece of it. Miller. They needed 7 of the 8 seconds to get across the halfway line, and he's still trying to control it. Travers is called for the foul. More free throws coming here. 3rd personal for Luke Travers. 27 fouls on Melbourne, 29 on Cairns. And Miller, what a great game he's put together. 30 points, 10 assists. 3 rebounds, 3 steals. Reasonable audition for the Foot Locker player of the game, but there's a few people who have putting their heads up.
Well, I think you might be at the front of the queue. He has been brilliant.
He's got 32, and he's done it on 12 of 16 from the field. I think you're right, Liam. The time of the essence here. Foul on Klintman. Is going to put Melbourne to the free throw line. Obviously, continuation is waved away.
And that's what you don't want if you're Adam Ford there, is a foul to continue to extend this game. You want to get out there, show hands, not foul, get the rebound off of a miss, and get to the other side and knock down free throws. But Krebs gets to the line to shoot 2.
One shot.
Krebs with a miss. They've left 12 out there from the free throw line in this game. And they trail by 10. The Taipans edging a little closer. 49 seconds remaining. McCall, they're going to foul him again. Travers obliges there, and that's his 4th. Some more free throws for Tashir McCall. A reminder, Brisbane and Illawarra coming up next. This has been a very impressive display from the Cairns Taipans. And last year, we saw them finish 1 win short of a regular season championship, 18-10. They went 10-4 on the road, lost 2-1 to Sydney in the semi-final, and they had all sorts of injury problems in that semi-final series that robbed them of being at their best. The 25th year in the competition, 2 grand finals, still looking for that elusive first championship. You have to admire what Adam Ford has done with the group, and particularly what he's done here today.
He's a tremendous coach, and this is a tremendous win. And the challenge for them will be to build on it. Another foul here. This one on Taron Armstrong. Now Chris Golding's going to go to the free throw line.
2 hands around the waist.
More frustration for Adam Ford in terms of just finishing this game off.
Come on now, I promise you. Every other game
It's been a process of trying to work out for them. Who are we? What are we about? What's our identity? Who's going to be our group, and how are we going to go about it? Tonight, maybe a step in that direction, but can they build on it? Can they get back into a point where their record is at 500 and they're knocking on the door of the play-in and the top 4?
And 40 seconds to play. Up 10, the Taipans. Again, pressure up the floor. Bull Call goes back to Miller. Triple team, McCall. And draws a foul. Golding will send Tashir McCall to the free throw line once more.
And just a tremendous job here from the Cairns Taipans. It's one thing to get a big lead and on the road, and you're playing well in the first half. Offense is kind of flowing, but it's another thing to hold on to that lead. And Melbourne United gave them everything they possibly could and got it down and cut it, and they just they kept their poise and really showed who they are today. A team that's going to be physical, going to move the basketball, and going to be really productive in the mid-range.
So the margin is 12 in a game. Melbourne charge up the floor looking for a quick score. Dellavedova for Travers from close range. Easy two. McCall. That's players ahead of him. Qual joining in. Clintman feeds Taron Armstrong. They milk the clock. They're happy to run it as far down as they can. Now the whistle provided with 16 seconds to play. Tom Coppins has picked up the foul. So combined 61 fouls called in this game, which equals the most we've seen in a game this season.
You think has it been an excessive whistle?
I didn't think so. No. Certainly toward the end here, but obviously they're playing. You figure that into the equation. But no, not even though it was a high foul count, 8-7 in the first quarter. It was so physical. The referees had to make the calls.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was called fairly on both sides, and both teams played physical and hard, and fouls are going to happen.
Well, Dellavedova put it inside, and the outside shot wouldn't work there for Campbell Blogg. Triplet fires, and Armstrong takes it, and the Cairns Taipans have come up with their biggest ever win against Melbourne United, and they've done it in style here by 12 points. Full time at John Cain Arena. It's Cairns 115, Melbourne 103.
Wow, tremendous win from the Snakes. Came in against the top team in the league in enemy territory. Pat Miller led by the Foot Locker player of the game, who was spectacular, especially in that first half. Big 32-point, 10 assist double-double. They come in and get the job done. Huge win for the Taipans.
Absolutely. Impressive win. 115-103. We'll be back to wrap it up here at John Cain Arena right after this.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
Thank Thanks for sharing your Sunday afternoon with us here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. The Cairns Taipans have prevailed here against Melbourne United with their highest score in the competition in 15 years. 115-103. Cairns win it by 12 against the best defensive team in the competition to stamp their credentials as a championship contender. Big win for Adam Ford and the Snakes. And next up, we are heading to Queensland as Brisbane play host to Illawarra. Stick around for that one. Trust you've enjoyed the coverage here today. On behalf of Liam Santamaria, Alan Williams, Felix Von Hoff, Leonard Copeland, and our hardworking crew behind the scenes, I'm John Casey. Look forward to your company again soon here in the Hungry Jacks NBL.